And welcome to the Farren taps, the hot taps, boiling taps, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I've been looking forward to this, but I jumped and I brought mine about 4 or 5 weeks ago. And there's been a lot of discussion on the old Facebook about, oh, it needs to be 100%, it needs to be that. And I thought, oh God, what have I done? Have I made the right decision? So I'm actually going to make a cup of tea live later. Yeah, so that'll be interesting.
That'll be a first.
Did he just say, did Paul just say that'll be a first?
Just before.
Yeah, Paul, I can't see your face. That's an improvement. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so before we start, just got to tell everybody that this is being recorded, and if you don't want to be recorded, could you please leave now under GDPR rules. And tonight we've got David Such and we've got Simon Wong. Okay, is Simon going to be joining us a little bit later? David?
Simon will basically be in the background for any real technical questions.
Okay, all right, excellent.
My role is more sales and introducing new home development, etc.
I'm so looking forward to this because since I've had it, I have not used my kettle once. Not once. But what I found really difficult, and maybe I'm an old-fashioned guy, is that I've always boiled a kettle. So when I come to make myself my first cup of tea, and maybe my third, fourth, fifth, it was really weird, kind of with cup, tea bag, turn the tap. And I actually thought, this is going to taste horrible. That's what I thought this is not going to go well. And I thought, oh, is it going to be hot enough? Because of what I heard and read, the negativity about it not being 100% boiling hot water. So I was absolutely blown away. I really was blown away on how it turned out just like me boiling the kettle. But also it was the vegetables, yeah, because I steam my vegetables. So I fill my pan up, yep. And within, I don't know, a minute, I've got boiling water because the water's really already hot, put the steamer on, and my vegetable stuff. So I use it on everyday stuff now. I have not used my kettle once since I've had that tap installed. And I really do mean that. And I think for the money and the design of it and how sturdy it is, yep, it's brilliant. And also, the other thing I've just got my head around is that I used to buy bottled water. Well, I don't need to buy bottled water now because I've got filtered on it. So that saves me £1 every time I go to Costa or Tesco's or Sainsbury's. So I just keep my bottle, fill my water up, and it's great. So I have brought really into it. And what I'd like you to do now, Dave, is explain it to our members who you are, who Farren are, and how good that damn tap is, because that's it.
Okay, right. Thank you. Thanks, Nick, for the introduction. As Nick says, my name's David Such. I'm the UK sales manager for Fahren UK. I got involved in this. I'm one of the directors of Personal Friends. My background is actually finance and property. He knew that I knew a lot of developers, etc., and says, look, how would we get into this market? So we discussed it, and it was decided to bring out our own range. Now, I'm just going to share a screen with you now. Can you all see that now?
We have liftoff.
Okay, sorry about that, everyone. I'm a bit of a technophobe. So we are boiling water taps by Farren. We are a manufacturer and supplier of the instant boiling water taps, and we've been making these tanks and taps, etc. now for over 10 years, and we supply it to the OEM market. Anybody that's not aware of what OEM stands for, it's the original equipment manufacturer. So a lot of companies that have been selling boiling water taps in this country now for several years, there's a good chance we've supplied most of them. Our offices are in Birmingham in the UK. We have a fulfillment house here. We have in-house engineering, and we're constantly working on product development. So what are the advantages of Farren taps? Well, they provide you, as Nick's already just gone through, instant hot water, basically. It's much easier than using a kettle. You only use the exact amount that you need. So the amount of people that will half fill a kettle to boil enough water for 1 cup. There's none of that wastage. It just goes, it stops instantly. Other advantages, a lot of people, there's numerous LNPG members have rung me up and says, how safe is it with children? Can they burn themselves? Very, very, very difficult. I will do a demonstration afterwards, but basically there's child-proof handles. The tap itself is insulated, so it doesn't get any hotter than a normal everyday hot water tap. But as I says, we'll go through the safety in a little while. It saves, you know, if you're limited on workspace and in your worktops, again, like Nick says, you don't need a kettle on it. So there's advantages in extra space. Also, you've got no lifting of a kettle from one place to another. You literally just put your cup under the tap. It's a lot more convenient. Certainly during lockdown, I was doing a lot of work from home, and I found myself thinking, I'll go and make myself a drink, go out into the kitchen, put the kettle on, put your tea bag in your cup, the phone call distracts you, you walk off, an hour later, you haven't had that drink, but you boiled the kettle. So you go back to do it again. Since I fitted our tap, and I actually fitted my own, that doesn't happen anymore. If I want a drink, I've got it straight away. Also, you've got the advantage of the filtered water. All of us are, you know, you buy a new kettle, you boil it, there's a vile taste in it, and that could be for a week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever. There's always some kind of taste in it. What you do when you fit your tap, your boiling water tap, is you boil the first tank, you then drain it off. That's to get rid of any residue that may have been in the tank when it was constructed. So you do boil it, you get rid of that, you then it then self-fills up again, you boil it again, and it's as fresh as it could possibly be. It's lovely, and it does soften and aerate the water too. So if you're not keen on the water in your area, it will help. Obviously, if you have got a very, very bad area, you may have to, you know, go for an additional water softener as well. But if you're in a bad area, you've probably already done that. Right, important now, safety. And we will touch upon these several times. We're RAS approved, but I'm going to come on to RAS in a little moment. We're ROS compliant, which if you don't know, that's all to do with it comes under lead-free directive. So any decent tap should be ROS compliant. We're also CE marked, which means that they've passed the EU criteria for safety, health and environmental requirements. Again, it says they come with a child-safe lock for the boiled water activation, and there are actually 5 preset temperatures to choose from for your ideal water temperature. So you've got 75, 85, 90, 95 and 98 degrees. Now let's go on to the RAS approved. Who are RAS? So,
David, can I just ask you to do one thing?
Yeah.
Could you turn your mic up? There's a button on your panel. Can you just turn the volume up?
Yep. Hold on.
Sorry. Mark O'Connelly's turned up. Bit late, Mark. Go on. Speak, Dave.
Is that better now?
Oh, yeah, a lot better. Yeah, a
Much
lot better. Thank you.
Okay, no problem at all. Okay, just get that off my screen. Okay, so RAS approved. It's there on the screen for you to see. It's the Water Regulations Approval Scheme, and it's an independent certification for our type of product. by choosing a RAS approved product, you're making sure that it's fully compliant. It's an easy way for us to demonstrate that the material, the water fitting, is of a suitable quality and standard. So it's very, very important to have a RAS approved product. There are other manufacturers out there, and it's an important one. And I'm not disrespecting KUKA at all, which tends to be the benchmark for everybody. Everybody knows of KUKA. They are not RAS approved because their taps dispense the water at 100 degrees. It's not RAS approved. They cannot fit them into brand new properties. But that's just a route that they've decided to go down. Obviously, it's not something that we want to do. So that's the RAS approval. Very, very important. If anybody's looking at our tap amongst others, do check that it has got RAS approval. I can't stress that enough.
David, does that apply then to every boiling tap that reaches 100 degrees? Every single one?
Yes, yeah. Every single one. And as far as I know, I think there's only KUKA that do 100 degrees, isn't there, Simon?
There's a few others.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. But KUKA is the main one. But any one of them with 100 degrees hasn't got RAS approval. Also, with that, with 100 degrees, all of your main house builders will use the NHCB or NHBC certificate. That you can't fit a 100-degree boiling water tap in a brand new property. Some of the smaller developers use a lesser certification, and they could, but
Why can't new builds then put 100 degrees?
because the NHBC certificate won't cover the system that it works, because it's a highly pressurized system. So when you turn on a KUKA tap, you've actually got like a steaming effect before the water comes out. It's almost like something that you see in Costa Coffee or something with a barista. It's a completely different system, even though they're both taps and dispense water. Only the one, sorry, if it's 100 degrees, it doesn't pass the same safety requirements.
Okay.
So therefore, NHB.
And how much of them, the taps you just mentioned,
Sorry?
how much of them taps?
KUKA taps start from about £1,400, and then it's very much like the old days of when you used to go and buy a BMW or a Mercedes. You got four wheels and the rest of the car. Everything else was extra. So there's so many different add-ons with KUKA that you will end up probably spending over £2,000, and their filters, which are huge, are £295, and you have to have them serviced every year at £250. So it's
I wish I hadn't have asked.
it's a very expensive luxury.
You know, he knows more about that tap than he does his own.
Well,
Sorry.
So what do you get in the box? You get your hot water tank. The dimensions are there. It's 210 by 210 by 330 millimeters high. I will demonstrate one in one of the cupboards in a short while. It does say there that the body colour is black, but it's actually blue for the Kelvin and William, and on the Celsius it's black. The tank is stainless steel and it is foam insulated. You get a Farren filter that needs to be replaced approximately every 6 months. It's there for about 3,000 litres. Again, if you're in a very hard water area, it probably won't last as long. If you've got an house where it's not used that often because people just aren't home much or whatever, it might last longer. However, there is an indicator on the actual tank itself that shows when the filter needs replacing.
I was going to ask that. So I don't have to guess. If there's a light that comes on the system, it tells me to change it.
Yeah.
And how much is the filter, David?
They're £40, or you can buy 3 for £99.
Okay.
With the Kelvin and William, you actually get 2 in the box. With the Celsius range, it just comes with the 1.
Yeah.
The actual, and they come in two designs. You've got the swan neck and you've got the square neck. The swan neck reaches a height of 380 mil from the base of the tap, and it's got a reach of 200 mil. The square neck has got a height of 340 mil and a reach of 210. And the actual tap hole diameter in the sink is 35 mil. And the lovely thing is as well, both of our taps, the Celsius and the Kellen and William range, come with a 5-year warranty as standard. That does depend obviously on you changing the filter when it's indicated for it to be changed. Other than that, there's no questions asked. It's a 5-year warranty. So what have we got in the product range? It's there on the screen, but what I'm going to do, we can go through it. There's a gunmetal grey, there's matte black, there's rose gold, there's brushed gold, there's chrome, and there's a brushed nickel. But we'll have a close look at those at the moment because there's a range of them behind me. There's my contact details. There's my mobile number. Anybody's welcome to call me anytime within reason. I did have somebody call me after 10 o'clock the other night. Wasn't too much of a problem, but if you're going to call me, don't make it much later than 10 o'clock, please.
Did he just say what? Did he just say
Not
what I
much
said?
later.
Not much later. I'm not going to ring you at 5 to 10.
Please, Nick, don't. Okay, I've lost my screen now.
Anthony, do you want to take over?
Take over for a second, Anthony, please.
Oh, sorry.
Have you got the presentation on your screen?
I don't have it open just now, but I thought, David, are you not done with the presentation? Do you want to move ahead to the showroom stuff?
Yeah, we'll move it. Yeah, sorry, I've gone off the screen. I've lost everybody else. So yeah, so if we go on to the actual presentation now, now
This Tony does presentations every day.
Right. So what we've got here, this is the actual Kellen and William tank. This is the designer blue, and it's got the name here. I don't know if you can see that there. So there's
Just about make it out. Just about.
You won't see it too well on this.
That's fine. See that?
There it is. There it is.
Mhm.
And the designer blue. And then behind us is just a range of various tanks that we've had on trial, etc. Different colours that we try, etc. So I think the reason I'm showing this is that it demonstrates that, you know, we're not just somebody who's drop shipping stuff in. We are actually the manufacturer, and stuff comes here. This is where it's on trial. Now, this is something that when we first met LMPG, we told them about it. I hadn't even seen this, so nobody else at LMPG has seen this. This is actually the chilled water unit that is going to be an additional add-on, and this only actually came here for me to have a look at this week. I am going to actually, and there is one that's plugged in under the sink, but when we say that we're going to do something, we are actually doing it.
So, David, because you've now mentioned chilled water,
Yeah.
so that tank that you just shown us will be instead of the blue one if people want to go for that.
No, it's an additional tank that sits next to it.
Okay, good.
Right.
Okay.
And it's a lovely thing. It's silent. I don't even profess to understand how exactly it works, but there's not a chilled refrigeration system in it. It's hot water. It's the hot water pressed through very small pipes that then creates a chill. So it's unbelievable how it works, but it's a silent running. There's no refrigeration unit in it or anything. So when you actually then, if you add that to it, when you actually just draw off filtered water from the tap, it will be chilled as well. So where people will go to their fridge, if it's got a chilled water dispenser on that, You won't need that anymore. It will just be from your tap.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it's a great, it's a great product. So yeah, so if we move on over to here, so
This is really David's house.
it's definitely not there. So this is just an under-sink arrangement. Excuse these points because we're always moving stuff here, so it's a bit ad hoc. Over here, we've got the filter. So all you have to do when you change the filter is the inline valves for the hot and the cold. You just turn those off, and then literally that is just a twist like a light bulb.
Talk into the camera, David.
So, sorry, it's all right. Is it all right doing it just like this, Nick? But briefly. So what we've got here then, if we go over onto here, what you've got, here's your hot water tank. So it will flash here when the filter needs changing. This is showing it's at 98 degrees. As I said, you can decrease that if you want to. And then here's the chilled water dispenser as well. So as you can see,
Okay.
they don't take up a lot. They do take up room, but it's not an awful lot. And they're out the way and it's silent. Okay, so I think that's about as much as we could cover and show on the tanks. What we have got here now, I might be stealing your thunder a bit here, Nick. But
If you're doing it, I don't need to do it.
okay, so here's the tap. This is the gunmetal grade square neck. So if it's in the upright position, if we turn it like this, that's your filtered water. Because this one is now actually connected to the chiller, that is 5 degrees that water is. That would make it a lovely cold drink. Then we put the tips out to this side, so until the pressure goes up then, just on the standard cold. So you've got cold and you've got hot. What I'm going to do now, make a cup of tea. So this is the hot water, and this is the point where I say, I always refer to this is the tap side, this is the kettle. So what we need to do now is we press this button, then push it that way. Straight away, we've got steam, hot water. And that's it. You didn't have to boil the kettle.
Dave, stick your hand under that hot tap.
Okay, right. It's an important thing to remember. All of us do this. We put that on and we check the temperature. I showed you when I did it with the filters. You check it. That's considerably colder than just a standard cold. The first time I ever tried this, I did go to do that. Do not do it. You can see for yourself.
Did you do that last week?
I did do that myself.
And you will burn yourself. But you have got to depress the button. You have got to turn it that way. There is a slight delay once the pressure will build up. But as soon as you let it go, it stops. So
And that button, David, that button is, you've got to push it in. It's not just an easy, like a little kid, he's got to really push it in.
Yes, you have. Yeah. It's something a small child would struggle to do. They really would. So anyway, going on from there, let's just have a look at the taps. This is the brush. This is the brush crow. This is the one I've actually got this one in my house because it goes very, very nice with just a standard stainless steel sink. This is the Celsius range. In fact, all of these are Celsius on here. But what we have done is at the top end of this one now, where we're on the brushed rose gold, is we've actually put the knurled diamond cut end that you would get.
Speak up, David.
Sorry. On this one, we've actually put the knurled diamond cut end onto this Celsius tap, so you can just see what effect it has.
Yeah.
You also get it on this lever here as well. So then we go along That's just your brushed gold coloured swan neck. Then you've got the matte black. That can actually look stunning in the right environment. We've then got the gunmetal grey, which is the one that we was just using as well. This is another little device that we've got coming through, but we won't bother with that one at the moment. So yeah, as you can see, those are the different colours. Obviously, as well as that one, there is a chrome, where everybody knows what a chrome tap looks like. So we keep those as the demonstration. For people when they come in here, and this is what some of the kitchen showrooms, etc., use as well. That's better. And I think that's about as much of the demonstration as I can actually do on a tap. Is there anything else that you think I've missed out, Nick?
No, again, I know it's really hard that you're not geared up for presentation. So, and I totally understand that. People come in, they want to buy your tap for the price that we're giving them, yeah? But I've got a couple of questions. Just one that got thrown at me was that how expensive is it to run a tap, a hot tap? Because people are saying to me, oh, Neil, I just flick the kettle on when I want a cup of tea. Is it more cost effective in boiling a kettle, or is it more cost effective buying a tap?
It's actually much more cost effective to run it with an instant boiling water tap. Nobody that I know of actually goes to an empty kettle, takes a cup, fills the cup with cold water, puts that in the kettle and boils the amount that they actually need. They just randomly fill a kettle with some water. Some households, if they've got teenagers, they'll just fill it to the brim.
Yeah.
They'll then boil all of that. The average kettle nowadays uses 2.4 kilowatts. It used to be 3 kilowatts. And an average kettle then takes about 10 minutes to boil.
10 minutes?
Can do.
Jesus, that's
If you boil it to the top, yeah, if you boil it, I just put a little bit in. But if you take it to the top, 10 minutes is a bit much, but
yeah.
hey,
Well, okay.
he's making his point. He's making the point.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
roughly, if you then work that out at how much per kilowatt and whatever, and that's, you know, certainly with energy prices, the way they've all suddenly been going up this week. But basically, if you work on this, it's going to cost you about 8 pence a time to boil a kettle. Okay. You might only use that amount that's in a kettle, that 2.4 litres, throughout a whole day. You might only ever draw 8 cups off it. So you only boil it once and then it just maintains it at that heat. So you're not reboiling it. It's just being maintained at that heat. It's in an insulated tank. It's the same as if you've got a hot water tank for your water in your loft. It's maintained at that heat. Only then when you draw some off, does some cold water then enter the tank. So it just needs to kettle and boil that back up to that temperature. But then you're only doing that actual cup amount. It also then means that you can leave it on overnight. When you get up first thing in the morning, you've got that instant cup of tea. There's no waiting. You've seen those benefits yourself, Nick.
So how much energy is expended just maintaining that heat?
That's the question.
Okay, how would you calculate that, Simon?
The insulator actually.
Can you hear Simon?
The
get Simon
insulation
come
actually quite. It's a very good insulation. So naturally, you lost heat by maybe around 2 to 3 degrees Celsius per 2 hours, and then to boil it up again, it takes around seconds. Maybe you will hear occasionally like a boil noise, like that's it.
Have you ever heard it, Nick? When you just
Yeah. It doesn't last long. It lasts for 10 seconds.
Yeah, and that's it. So all it's doing, that 10 seconds then, and that's when it's using energy.
Is that what they get? So yeah, I made myself a cup of tea. It did it for about, I don't know, 15 seconds, 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And then it just cuts out, and I've been here now an hour and it hasn't kicked off once.
That's right, because
Yeah.
all of the water there is at that 98 degrees. I mean, This is the cup of tea. Simon's completed this for me. This is the water that came out of this a minute or so ago, and it's still a very hot cup of tea.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah. So does that cover that question, Nick, about the?
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry, Anthony, about the amount of energy it uses. It will kettle up throughout the day, but within 2-3 hour periods and for 10 seconds or so. That's it. That's all it will use. So it's a very, very, very small calculation or number to calculate.
Okay.
About the finishes that you've got there behind you,
Yeah.
how do they cope with scratches? Now, a lot of people will have rings, and I'm a little bit worried about that matte black one because I know it happens quite a lot with the bathroom taps of other suppliers. So do they have any sort of scratch resistance coatings, or is that any feedback you've had before?
Simon, can you answer that one? Is it a KPD, something like that, covering on it?
There's a PVD coating on the surface. However, there's no protection that if you purposely want to scratch something, you will scratch it. So
I'm not talking about vandalism.
Yeah. No, so generally with the PVD that Simon saw, I couldn't remember what it's called. The PVD is something that it's used throughout the industry. So where now people are starting to bring in sinks that are gold and whatever, they're coated with that to bring it to an absolute minimum. But as you say, if somebody's going to try and scrape a knife or something across it, or an extremely hard kind of cleaner, it may well scratch it.
yeah, or if it's a very hot water area where there's laterally there's lime scales attached onto the surface, and then we use something like Jif liquid to clean it, you will scratch it.
Okay, did you hear that?
Just about. Can you repeat that for us, David?
Okay, basically, if it's an area where you've got particularly hard water, some of the lime scale may affect it. Okay. Also, if people use something like Jif or something to clean the tap, you don't need to. It's a tap. Just some hot water with a cloth is all you should ever need to clean the tap with. Don't use abrasives, basically.
It's funny you should mention that. We've actually got another partner on, I think later on in this series. Nod if I'm right here, Gareth, because I can see you. Called CombiMate, and they essentially stop the lime scale sticking to metal surfaces, so it doesn't soften the water. But we'll be hearing from them sooner or later this series for more information on that. But that's a really good point for lime scale, because I know particularly if it's getting hotter, then you're going to get calcifying of water much quicker.
What I was really impressed with, because I've got one in my house, was how solid that hot tap is. It's not a cheap piece of kit.
It's not.
It really is not. And the prices that LMPG members are getting it for, yeah, I mean, it's a real no-brainer for me. I mean, the one that hasn't got the diamond cut ends, yeah, that's 400 and what was it? 400 and what?
490 something pounds, isn't it?
Is it 497?
I think it's
something like that. It comes out to just
yeah, it's 497, and the one with the diamond cut, yeah, is 597 pounds.
There's about £100 difference. There was one of your members actually phoned me up about it. He says, "Look, what is the difference?" And what is the difference? There's not a lot, to be honest. It's all the same mechanism and everything. It's a designer range. It's the same as some people will buy a Skoda, others will buy an Audi. It's all about what people want. So your Kellen and William, that's your designer range. So it's got the designer name on the tank. It's just on the base of the tap as well. You've got it on yours, Nick. It's a designer blue tank. It's got exactly the same dial on it. It then has the diamond knurled end and the lever, and it comes with two filters as opposed to one. So the fact that you get two filters as opposed to one brings the price down effectively then by another £40. So this particular gentleman says, so I'm paying £60 for a designer tap with a nice diamond turned end. And I says, yeah, he says, I think I'm going to go for that. But
you buy whatever you want, but
yeah,
for them prices, yeah, for the prices we're paying, you're saving nearly £200 per tap, yes, on whichever one you go for.
Yeah.
And again, I've looked on the internet, I've done a little bit of research. Then price for what you get and how solid it is phenomenal. I really have a moon with my tap.
Yeah, and I said it's a 5-year guarantee. You know, so yes, people don't know of us as a company, but there's 10 years plus experience in manufacturing these products, which is why we can come into the market as a new name with a 5-year guarantee.
But isn't there you're linked, or something was linked to another company that you can't tell us about?
As an OEM manufacturer, we make for other companies, which obviously
that was my point.
Yeah.
You make that you can't tell us who you make for, and I understand that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And them taps are how much?
About £100.
Thank you. That's what I needed to know. So you're not new to the game. You're making this product for somebody else as well.
Yeah.
So, and I don't want to know about that. Yeah. But what
we as a company are not new to the game. The people behind it. Farren is a new name.
Yes.
But the product is not new.
No.
The Kellen and William, nobody else has got the blue tank. Nobody else has got the diamond turned end, etc. That is ours. That's Farren's. The chilled unit, that is going to be available to anybody else. That's for us. Oh, there's another one as well. Hold on. What have I done with it?
You can tell he's not organised.
Here's one I made earlier.
Oh, there's another one.
Buddy just keeps, I can see Buddy right in front of me, yeah, and he just keeps grinning at me. I don't know why you're always in front of me.
Okay. Okay, Simon's going to come in with it. So this is the pull-out tap. Again, this is new to us. Same workings, slightly longer shape here. Now this pull-out only works on the tap, so that's the hot, the cold, and the filtered, not on the boiling water. It's got the pull-out facility, which tends to be popular now. We was asked for it. Here it is. This is one of the test ones in our showroom right now.
So can we have price on that as well? When are we going to get price on that?
Not yet, and it's the same as the chilled unit. As soon as they're available, you'll be notified about them. But it's just, I know that we talked about them when we first come to your offices. We don't talk about stuff if we're not doing it.
Can I put you on the spot here, David? I know I'm really being unfair here. Yeah. When do you think the chiller will be live?
I think it'll be by the end of this quarter, so available beginning of next quarter.
Shipment will be around January.
Yeah, shipment will be round about January.
Okay, good. And that tap?
And the same again.
Okay, brilliant.
We'll probably mix the container. So
there was another thing on that shelf. You picked it up and went, oh, we won't talk about that. Now, you know I'm going to ask you what that was.
Okay, I'll tell you about it.
Jesus, you can't do that to me.
Okay. We've all stopped. Can you see this from there? Right. So what this is, somewhere here to plug it in.
It's not a Hive. It's not one of those series speakers, is it?
No, it's a kettle. What this is, we've all stopped in a hotel room and it's got their little in-house kettle there. And if you look inside it, it's full of lime scale and it's pretty grim. You've then got to go to the kitchen, the bathroom sink and fill it up with water. With this part here, you buy a bottle of water from the hotel bar or that little an attachment that is on this. It screws onto the top of any bottle You then turn it upside down, it fits into there. That water is then dispensed into this, and then it comes out, you put your cup underneath and you'll get boiling water come out of it. So you can actually carry your own kettle around with you.
I don't believe I'm watching this. I just don't believe it. That's the caravan or camping people.
Yeah, yeah. Or business executives that travel around all the time, live in hotel rooms.
Yeah.
You want to make a cup of tea when you get up in the morning. Do you really want to use some of the kettles that are provided?
That'd be quite a good gimmick for the not the HMO, but the serviced accommodation or holiday lets, etc., etc.
Yeah, glamping, camping, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to a festival a couple of years ago, pre-COVID, and we were stood watching water boil in a saucepan for about 20 minutes. A lot. So that's a lifesaver.
Yeah.
How much are they?
Have we got a price at all yet, Simon?
No, sorry, I shouldn't
all
have on there, should I?
No, you shouldn't have asked that.
No,
Yeah,
I won't.
so there's always innovative products that we're looking at.
David, can we go back to the flexi hose tap?
Yeah.
And what's the warranty going to be like for that? Because I imagine there's more kinks to work out than a standard tap with a 5-year warranty.
It will be the same.
Wow.
5 years. Yeah.
We can show them next to the normal tap.
It's a much bigger tap, though. Let me just show you. Can you see that?
Yeah.
I can see it all right, Simon. Maybe it's come down a bit. Leave it where it was. You can see it is a much bigger tap.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I've got that.
It's part of everything. It is higher there because there's more workings and allowances for it. But yeah, still 5-year guarantee.
Lovely.
Okay. Question. I've got some more questions.
Okay.
If I buy my tap, yeah, and I buy the heater and I'll get it installed, and then in January, are you going to do a deal on that chilled unit for us?
We will work a deal for you. Yeah,
Good.
of course we will. Yeah.
Okay. The next question that I've been asked, how much is it roughly to install one of them taps?
Right. Depending, I mean, if I spoke to Pimlico plumbers in London, I think they charge, it shouldn't take more than an hour. I fitted mine myself. I'm not a plumber. I'm pretty decent at doing stuff. It took me a little bit longer. I'm a bit old to be rummaging around under sinks and everything. But generally, obviously when yours was fitted, we brought Tony over. Gareth and Anthony was both there. They saw how quick he did it. It could be done in under an hour. So London, up to £180 because that's what they can be charging for the hour. Anywhere else in the country, you shouldn't pay any more than £99.
All right.
Very, very, very important thing to remember is that there must be a plug, a socket available for the heater to be plugged into. Because if
part of Nick's installation.
Sorry, Gareth.
Part of Nick's installation it was a little bit longer because he'd only had the single plug. Tony actually installed the double plug for him, so it took longer than a standard install. Yeah.
Which is something that anybody that's buying one should check before they get a plumber in to come and do it, that they do have an additional socket to be able to plug it into.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've got a question here. It's a really good question. Was how long does it stay at 98 degrees? Well, I've been here an hour and mine has not kicked in to reheat, or that little minute, 10 seconds, 20, 30 seconds to heat the water up. So it must be at 90. I'll check. Yeah, it's at 98. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use it on mine. That's hot water. And I'll keep that. I'll look at that in a second. That was at least 2 cups. Nothing. It hasn't kicked in yet, but it will do.
Yeah,
It takes probably about a minute and a half for the water to filter through. Yes, that's what I find.
Yeah, for it to get up to boil and everything, but it should be at least 2 to 3 hours at a time before it loses any temperature at all. That's the way it's designed. Unless obviously you draw water from the tank. So if you go out at 9 o'clock in the morning or 8:30 and return at 4:30, it may have come on once or twice during the day when it's gone down to say 95, 96 degrees, just to take it back up to the 98.
Got another question, which is a really good question. I didn't even think about this one. You've got like 10 people and you're making a cup of tea and you empty it.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long does it take to heat back up? Because the question is, can it continuously? Yeah, it has to heat back up, doesn't it?
Yeah. If you completely drain it down, then it will take about 5 minutes to get it back up to heat. 5 or 6 minutes.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking you were talking about an hour.
No.
Oh, right. There. Postmeister, you got that one answered. And I saw a question come up about what temperature is the chilled water? Is it 0.5?
Yes. Yeah. You can have it at other temperatures above that, but that's the coldest temperature that it goes down to.
That's cold.
It is cold. When I tried it yesterday, I think it was at 9 degrees, and that was fine. Cold 5 is actually very cold, but nice.
Yeah, you need a double socket if you're having the chiller as well and the tank.
Yeah.
I'm running out of. I really wanted to give you a hard time, Dave. I really wanted to. I was gunning for this. I was so looking forward to it. Like, look, you've kind of. How do I put this? You kind of did. I can't ask any more damn questions.
There's a couple more, Nick, before you stop, that we missed earlier on. So Paul's asked, do you have salt tablets reservoir for the water filter part of the tap?
Do we have a what? Sorry.
A salt tablet reservoir.
No, we don't. No.
Okay, and we've got a couple of questions on this. Anywhere that members can see these on display?
If they want to come down to our Albury showroom, we'll happily demonstrate them to them all day long.
You need to book an appointment for that, call ahead or anything?
Preferably book an appointment, yeah. Because if we know somebody's coming, then we'll make sure that it's there for them to use. So because you wouldn't believe how many times that actual tap that I've made the cup of tea from tonight, that can change throughout the week as we try one thing then another, etc. It's constantly being done. So if we know somebody's coming, we'll have it prepared so they can come and see it.
Of course. I like this one from Babs. She's just said soda stream. That's the question.
It's one that's been talked about. I think it's an additional thing that you can get again with Kuka. I don't think there's a big enough market for it. But again, if there was enough demand, then yes, we can do it. Simon's actually saying that we will actually have it in Q2 in 2022.
Really?
Yep.
That's the carbonated water side, is it?
Yeah. That's new to me as well. I know it's been talked about. I didn't realise it. As I said, this is it. We talk about it. It gets done.
And just a final question here from Hodgemeister again. Is the internal tank food grade stainless steel 18/8?
Yes, it is. It's actually 304.
I don't even know what that is.
No, me neither, Nick. That was one.
Me neither.
I just said it and hoped that they'd know what it is. Chris has said, what did you say? It's a 4-in-1 tap. What are the 4 things?
Right. Hot, cold, filtered, boiling.
Easy.
Soon will be 5. Chill.
Yeah.
And carbonated.
But chilled and filtered, it will still be classed as 5. But you you won't be able to put the filtered on without it being chilled. It will just automatically be chilled if you have it filtered.
Ah,
Yeah, I got that, I think.
so it's 4 but 5 sort of.
Yeah, and the important thing that I says about the chilled unit, because it's basically a non-fan fan system, FAN, chill system. So there'll be no noise from it. So it's not like if you stand by a fridge and you can hear the refrigeration behind it. It's actually silent running.
Okay.
And it's relatively small as well, next to the tank.
Oh, good. I'm really happy with mine. I bought mine. I'm over the moon.
Yeah, you gonna have a chilled unit, Nick?
Nah, probably not.
Oh. You need to.
I don't. I drink Costa. No. You put me on the spot there. Probably not. My brain hasn't even gone to chilled. Probably in the winter, in the summer, I probably might. But
Are you saying, David, that you can retrofit the chilled unit onto the current taps then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah.
That's the question I asked.
Never occurred that because I was thinking, why would you replace the whole tap?
You wouldn't. It's just a unit. It was that unit just fits under the sink.
And then you can just plug it in.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a completely add-on thing. So if somebody wants to buy the one part first, just to see how it is, then they could buy the other part afterwards.
Yeah. I'm getting bored now because I've asked you all the freaking questions. Anybody got
I've got a couple more, Nick, and I'm going to fire these off. But before I do this, I just want to ask David again to share his contact details. And while you're trying to figure that out,
I'll tell you what. Can I read it out to everybody?
No, stick it on there because people will watch this later.
Right. Okay. Oh, here we go. Bear with me.
People watch this later, David.
Okay, so I've got loads of questions coming in as well. I don't know if you've got the mental space for them at the minute, David, so I'll wait for you to share your details first.
I think this is a great one from Hodgemeister. Do you turn the tap off, overnight?
No. No need.
No, I went on holiday.
You'd have to reboil it again in the morning, which would expend more energy.
Yeah, no, you just leave it on. Since I fitted mine, it has never been switched off. And that was several months ago.
When I went to Portugal for 3 weeks.
You kept yours on?
Yeah, I kept mine on. I actually forgot about it. That's the truth. And I'll tell you what, because I've never had one fitted before or anything like that, because I was quite nervous, I sent Tracy round to check the tap.
And you made yourself a drink? Can
No,
everybody see my details now?
We can.
Yeah. Because I've never had a tap. I thought, oh, do I trust it? Don't I trust it? Yeah.
Right. So I've got loads of questions that I'm going to ask while we can see that, David. So, are there different size tanks available?
No, not at the moment.
So we just got that 2.4 litre tank.
Yeah. That, we settled on that size just down to experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's different size tanks behind me where I'm sat, but experience shows that 2.4 is the ideal size.
Is the chilled unit easy to install?
Very.
Do you want to expand on that answer at all?
It's just connecting other pipes from the one tank to the other, without actually demonstrating it. I actually watched Tony do it the other day, and from watching Tony do it, I'll have more than enough confidence when they arrive and I put one in my house. I'll just fit it myself.
Yeah, I was going to say, if it's a retrofit, you don't want to call a plumber out for that if it's really easy.
No, I mean, you know what? let's be truthful about it. Some people are just not practical at all, right? So they will need somebody to do it for them. Others, they'll look and go, you know what, I can do that. I consider I've got to move that connection from there to there and that one to there, and then it will work.
Just turn your water off first.
Yeah, very important to turn your water off first, or it just gets entertaining if you don't. But again, like everything else that we do, once it's ready to go on the market, we will actually do a demonstration video as well that people will be able to watch. So, you know, they'll be able to look at it before they attempt it themselves.
Chris has asked, oh, sorry, go on.
No, to say when you do a video, do another one so we can put it on our on LMPG's website.
Yeah, we will do. We will.
Chris has asked, can you retrofit the carbonated water to the boiling tap as well?
Later.
Yeah.
I says that's for Q2 next year. So,
is that going to require a third socket?
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay.
Just put a bank of sockets in for if you want your carbonated water and whatever else might be coming. I'm joking now. Yeah, the more that you add to it, plug-in devices, then obviously it would need a socket. But once you've got a cable there with power to it, it's easy enough to add another.
Sally said, how many cups of tea can I make constantly without it being heated up? Well, it's got 2.5 litres and I made 5 cups of tea the other day, and then it kicked in to heat up. And again, it didn't take long to heat up. You hear noise for a little second while it's heating, and then it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but basically, you should be able to draw about 8 cups off it, but that will drain all of it. That will basically drain it then. I mean, if you've got a Sports Direct mug, you might get 2 out of it. But generally, 8 cups, then you're looking at it having to boil another tank. But as I says, that should take about 5 minutes.
Honestly, look, I can really say this is a great tap because I've got one. And again, with the price and what I've seen out in the marketplace, can I buy cheaper? Yeah, you can't buy that cheaper. And there's a lot more for the quality. You'd be paying a lot more money than what we're paying at LMPG. So that's all I can say.
And we just putting in there, you won't necessarily have a 5-year guarantee with it as well.
No.
Well, good point on the guarantee, because I've just got one last question for you, which is the guarantee affected at all by installation? So you mentioned you installed yours yourself.
No, the only thing you can't do, and this is along the line with any other product that you buy, is don't cut the plug off. Because some people say, well, I don't want to drill an hole through there. If you've got to drill a hole to get a plug through, then move the socket to the other side. So you've just got to drill a small rail hole for another cable to come through. Don't cut the plug off. You'll invalidate your warranty. Other than that, if you fit it yourself or if you have it fitted by a company, it doesn't matter. It won't invalidate it.
Okay.
That's brilliant. I've really enjoyed it. I know it's maybe not be like a kitchen design or a boiler kind of thing, but I think that your taps were really good quality products, and I'm so proud to welcome you aboard onto LMPG.
Thank you.
That's a no-brainer for me. It really was.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just thank you very much, because we didn't know how this was going to go. And thank you very much for giving us the price you did. I really do appreciate that. And the members need to know that it was hard negotiations. I swore a few times. I said, how much? Get that down. And then Tracy and Anthony took over for me. But thank you.
Yeah. No, you're welcome, Nick. It's been a pleasure working with all of you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Really, really good.
Yeah.
So actually,
can I ask if there's any members out there that are watching tonight that have already purchased any reviews that they could post online for us would be very much appreciated.
Yeah, because
or for people from this that go on and purchase. Again, if you could leave us reviews, you've all got my contact details now. You're welcome to call me.
I'll be definitely doing you a post.
Okay, thank you, Nick.
Really will be.
Yeah. There was one gentleman I saw that's just asked if we could do one more close up on the black tap.
Yeah, go on.
So we can do that. Simon's going to do one on that now. So there you are. That's. Can you see that now? Yeah, you can. That's the black tap. And again, it can come in the square neck as well. Okay.
No, thank you.
All right. Any other questions, anybody?
No,
I've got a couple more just come through from Facebook, but then we'll be all done. So will the products be UKCA approved?
Yes, they will.
And do the taps allow or work for low pressure?
They operate from 1.5 bar to 1.5 to 5 bar.
Thank you for that, David. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. If there's any other questions that I've missed out, I'll just double check after the fact and I'll send them over to you. You're right to just get back to me on email on that.
Yeah, of course I have. Yeah.
Lovely. Thank you, mate.
Okay. Thanks, Simon Wong, and thank you, David. Really appreciate everything you've
Thank you,
done.
Nick.
You're welcome.
Really appreciate that.
Okay.
So, who have we got next week?
Houston.
Right,
Who?
I'm going now then. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Cheers, David. We've got Houston, Nick.
Oh, God, that's another boring one.
This is a good one because they've had a lot of exciting updates, and they're announcing a little special something that they've put together for us as well to give back a little bit. I told you about this the other day, Nick, but well, you sort of lost track a little bit. You got a bit excited, but we'll have more about that next week.
Now, can I give them a tip about that little thing?
Sure.
They're going to give us a load of money. Yes.
This isn't the tip. You're telling them the whole thing.
No, I'm not. We're going to give us some money to go and do some work for charity. And we're going to be asking members what their views are.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, Nick. That's not a tip.
Oh, okay.
You told them the whole thing. But yeah, we'll
No, I've not.
tell about that. There was obviously a lot more to say.
There is a lot more.
We can approximate the figure as well, but is a
No, I haven't told them that.
You don't want to say that?
No.
Okay. If any members want to know the figure, give me a call.
It's a kit. Yeah. They've kindly, because we come under social housing, Dewsons will give us some money to invest in a project for youngsters or something along that line in a particular area. And that's really, really exciting.
Yeah, and it's not just for this year as well. That's going to be a yearly thing. So
yeah,
we're very thankful for that, and hope to do a lot of good for the membership.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to make that announcement next week. Okay, so we've got Juices next week. I'm looking forward to that. We can grill him about products and price increases and that. So come and join us because that'll be interesting. Yeah.
Exactly, and you know what? The stock's actually improving. They've gone through hell. Everyone has with stock them, but they're actually on the way up as well. So it's a great time to have them on.
Yeah. All right, excellent. So I will see you all next week. I hope you've enjoyed today. It's a bit missing, whatever, but it got the point across. Yeah, they're a new business. It's gone really, really well from them. Yeah, and the prices, because I can't tell you who they make taps for, but it's a good quality product. It really is. All right. So I'm going to say good night because I've got to jump on another presentation now. So I will see you all later.
Thanks for joining us.
Cheers, mate. Thanks. Bye, everybody.